that so?
Like a chicken from Chicken Twitch.
You good?
Mm-hmm. Why are you not coming in the bathroom?
Because I was trying to film a video. Alrighty, with all distractions out of the way, today we are talking about the video I decided to film to have a cute moment with Elias doing a craft. So the craft that we were working on was something that I had received at the baby shower that was specifically for Elias, which super cute right off the bat, right? And it was just like a little dinosaur nightlight that he was able to color in. And I had to like get his interest multiple times and be like, look, mommy's coloring this and mommy's coloring that. But regardless of all of that, those moments with him were super cute. And I do really love most of that video, especially because it was when he was at this age where he wasn't quite talking yet. So I would like put little things of like text up and pretend like he was saying that or thinking it, which made it more fun for me. Good job!
They were next to Grandma's bed.
Oh, well, I'm so glad you found them. At least they were safe next to Grandma's bed, right? But yeah. And I loved doing little things like that in the videos because they were just, it was more interesting while editing, for me anyway. I don't know if anybody that ever watched the channel when it was that small ever enjoyed those little things, but I certainly did. But as I sat there rewatching it, there's just an awkwardness to it. And that is that the narcissist is sitting on the couch throughout the entirety of this video. And it was so strange to a point. Hi.
But you
I love you.
make sure that camera can actually work.
It's working.
Wait, what happens if I grab it and walk? It looks like I'm walking backwards.
It was so awkward to a point that I decided to explain it away at the very beginning of the video. Like, I sat outside so he couldn't hear me, and I was explaining away why he's just sitting there and basically ignoring us the entirety of him sitting there. Like, he chirped in maybe 3 times throughout the entirety of me filming this. And I explained it away as like, oh, we both have one-on-one time with Elias, and this was my time, so he was taking his step back to let me focus on my time with Elias and really have that one-on-one moment, which, like, I would have loved if that was actually the case. Like, I think it's so important for parents and their children to have one-on-one time and, like, one-on-one moments, right? Like, as they get bigger, I want to be able to take them to go do things like a weekly dinner. One day of the week is Elias, the other day of the week is Levi. Be like, this is your time where it's just us and we're hanging out just us. You know, just something like that. That was not what was happening though. What was actually happening was that's how he was all the time. Barely there. In his own world, on his phone, working on his car, drinking his beer, smoking his weed, and kids was entirely me. So, it's really just a really long video showcasing how he was all the time. Except for when my uncle stepped out, which is when I put music over it, because my uncle, who we lived with at the time, had a way of how he would address things. And what he would do is, he would point blank look at the narcissist and be like, this is what needs to get done. And the narcissist would take that and be like, well, you are the homemaker, you're the stay-at-home, you need to do this right now in this instance because your uncle is super mad right now. And what was making my uncle mad was the fact that he didn't have a job. He was supposed to be the breadwinner, and he was sitting around doing nothing except for messing with his car and getting drunk. And my uncle was getting to the point where he was like, you need to do something. And he just wasn't. But yeah, watching it back and just watching that explanation, and I'm sitting here going, you were really deep in this because you're making so many excuses before anybody even sees the video. You feel like you have to over explain what people are about to watch because you don't want people criticizing him, because you don't want people acknowledging the truth of the situation, which is that he's a terrible person and that you're in a terrible situation. And like, my whole family said it. Nobody liked him from the get-go. That's the thing though. When you're telling somebody he's bad, you can't do that, they're not seeing it because they're being love bombed. And then when they start to see it, they don't want to admit the truth. One, because there's like this shame because so many people told you that it's a bad idea and that they're clearly a bad choice because they could see right through the facade because the facade was not being directed at them. They are not the ones being love bombed. But then there's also this whole thing of like, you love them so much that you want to protect them even though they don't deserve it. So I wanted everybody to think that he was this amazing person and that he was this great guy and that he was a fantastic partner. And he never was any of those things except for the very beginning 6 months when he was love bombing me and was fantastic. That's the only time. And we were together for 6 years. 5.5 years was him just being shitty. And I was like, but I need everybody to think that he's like he was in those first 6 months when he was tricking me into loving him. When he was convincing me that he was decent. And I was trying to convince the entire world, whoever stumbled across my video, whoever would have clicked on it, that he's great. Oh, I'm so mad at myself all the time, every time that I see this. In any of these videos, as I'm watching through them and trying to like get it all back on to the channel, because that's the thing. Most of these videos are videos of my son. And I would like them to be something that the family can still go back and click on and see those cute little moments with him. I do want that. But I have to cut him out of so much shit. I love having these videos. I love having these videos and being able to be like, this is a look in our life and these are the highlights and these are the memories that I'm creating that I want them to remember and stuff that I want to look back on. And that's the whole reason that I started this channel, was so that way family and friends and myself and the boys when they're older could look back on all these really, really sweet, cute moments and they would just be there forever. Forever and ever and ever. Because it's on fucking YouTube. Like, my goal with this channel was never to fucking make a channel that was going to have millions of subscribers and that people were going to be obsessed with our family. I didn't give a shit about that, and I still don't. Like, I understand strangers watch these videos. I understand strangers are starting to weigh their opinions in on, like, me as a mother, them as kids, and what I should be doing, what I shouldn't be doing, what I should be talking about, what I shouldn't be talking about. Like, it's happening here, it's happening on TikTok. I don't give a fuck. Like, it's the internet. Like, you're a person behind a screen. I don't fucking know the majority of you. And, like, I'm still treating this exactly how I wanted to from the beginning. These are the highlights. These are the things that I'm excited to share. These are the things that I think are important to share. Because sometimes it's not always, like, rainbows and butterflies, right? Sometimes I share really difficult, hard things, like talking about my narcissistic ex. But I feel it's important to share things like that, and it's important to be like, this is what I'm doing right now. Like, prime example, I made a video where I was designing Elias his little hidey hole for where he needs to go when he's just overwhelmed, right? I loved that video. I love being able to create that for him. I love so many of the things that I've done and just decided to film. I'm excited for the things we have coming up that I plan on filming and things like that, because they're things that they're so little, they're not going to remember any of it, and I want them to be able to look back and be like, these are things that we did, and this is what I was like as a child. And I want to be able to look back when I'm like old and be like, look at my babies. And like whatever else happens with the channel, that's whatever else happens with the channel. Like, if I'm able to help at least one person by telling all these stories and exposing him, then great. That's great. Maybe you notice these patterns in your relationship and it's making you reevaluate that relationship. That's wonderful. Even if it's just the one person. I love that. So I wanted to come on here really quick and just add in that part of the reason that I was like, oh, I want that to be what this channel is because I was filming Elias from the very first day of having him, and one time I had all of these videos that I had saved like months into this process. I had saved all these videos and I was making a really long cute movie of like the few seconds that I record every single day, and we were just watching him grow up so fast, and the narcissist got mad over something stupid and broke his computer, and I lost all of that. And so I in part started the channel because I didn't want to lose memories like that ever again. And so this was my way of making sure that I didn't lose any memories. I don't expect to be big, and you know, as they're little and I'm able to share these things, I want to and I'm going to, because as they get bigger, I already know, you know, nobody wants to hang out with their mom. Nobody thinks their mom is cool. They're not going to want to be on my videos, and that's fine. That is their choice. Like, right now, they think it's fun and exciting, and I'm like, dope, cool. They they talk to the camera for me half the time, and I love that. I love being able to make things with them and, like, spark that creativity. But, yeah, that was just a rambling thought, because, honestly, everything that I had to say about this wasn't very long. Anyway, thank you for watching. See you next week. Goodbye.